The circle is quiet before the throw, a silence that feels heavier than noise. The ground beneath the athlete's feet carries the memory of countless rotations, countless rehearsals, countless moments when everything depended on timing measured not in seconds, but in instinct. For Franka Dietzsch, that silence became a familiar companion over a career that stretched across eras, borders, and expectations. Born into a divided nation, shaped by one of the most demanding sports systems ever created, and matured in a reunified Germany that offered both opportunity and uncertainty. Her life in discus throwing became a study in patience, resilience, and longevity rarely seen in elite sport. She did not emerge suddenly. There was no overnight transformation, no singular moment when the world knew her name. Instead, her story unfolded slowly, deliberately, forged through repetition and discipline. The discus is not an event that rewards impatience. It asks for balance, for rhythm, for an almost meditative understanding of motion. Franka Dietzsch learned this language early, long before stadium, lights and global championships framed her achievements. Long before gold medals, there were cold mornings, structured training sessions, and the quiet pressure of a system that demanded excellence without guaranteeing recognition. When she stood in the circle at the 1999 World Championships in Seville, the moment carried more than the weight of a single competition. It carried years of preparation, adaptation, and belief. The throw that followed did not come from chance. It came from a life spent learning how to repeat precision under pressure. That evening would crown her world champion for the first time, but it would not define the limits of her journey. For Franka Dietzsch, success was never a final destination. It was a checkpoint along a much longer road. Her story is one of endurance in every sense of the word. Physical endurance, as her body withstood decades of high-level throwing. Mental endurance, as she navigated periods without medals, without spotlight, without certainty. And emotional endurance, as she continued to compete at an age when many had already stepped away. In a sport often dominated by brief peaks, she built a career that refused to fade quietly. Her legacy is not only measured in titles, but in time itself, in the rare ability to remain relevant, competitive, and dangerous on the world stage across nearly 2 decades. This is the story of Franka Dietzsch, a woman who mastered the art of waiting for the right moment, who learned to trust preparation over prediction, and who proved that greatness does not always arrive early, but when it does arrive, it can arrive again and again. Franka Dietzsch was born on January 22, 1968, in Wolgast, a town in what was then the German Democratic Republic. Her childhood unfolded within a state that placed immense value on athletic development, particularly in Olympic sports. From a young age, physical education and sport were woven into daily life, not as recreation alone, but as a structured pathway toward excellence. Talent identification programs were systematic, and young athletes showing promise were guided into specialized training environments designed to maximize performance. Details of her family life remain private, as Franka Dietzsch has never positioned her personal background at the center of her public identity. What is known is that she grew up in an environment where discipline, routine, and commitment were normalized. These qualities would later become essential in navigating the demands of elite athletics. Like many children in East Germany, she was introduced to organized sport early, progressing through school-based programs that emphasized physical development and technical skill. Her athletic aptitude became evident during her youth. Initially exposed to a range of track and field disciplines, she gravitated toward throwing events, where her strength, coordination, and emerging technical understanding set her apart. Discus throwing, in particular, suited her. It demanded not only power, but patience, and understanding of rotational mechanics that rewarded those willing to refine movement endlessly. Franka embraced this process, committing herself to the discipline required to master the event. As she advanced through the youth system, her progress was steady rather than explosive. She trained within the highly structured East German athletics framework, where expectations were clear and competition for advancement was intense. Improvement was measured carefully, and success was earned incrementally. By the mid-1980s, she had established herself as one of the country's most promising young discus throwers. Her first major international breakthrough came in 1986, when she competed at the World Junior Championships in Athens. There, she won the silver medal, a significant achievement that confirmed her potential on the global stage. This result marked her transition from promising youth athlete to serious international contender. It also placed her on a trajectory that would lead to senior-level competition at the highest level. The late 1980s brought profound change. As Germany moved toward reunification, the sports structures that had shaped Franka's development were dismantled or transformed. For many athletes, this period was destabilizing. Training systems changed, funding became uncertain, and the future was unclear. Some careers stalled or ended during this transition. Franka Dietzsch, however, adapted. She continued to train and compete, now representing a unified Germany, navigating a new sporting landscape that required greater personal responsibility and resilience. Throughout the early 1990s, she competed consistently at national and international levels. These years were marked by persistence rather than podium dominance. She refined her technique, built physical strength, and accumulated experience against the world's best. In 1993, she competed at the World Championships in Stuttgart, finishing 8th. While not a medal performance, it demonstrated her ability to reach finals at the highest level and confirmed her status as a reliable international competitor. As the decade progressed, Franka Dietzsch continued to develop. Discus throwing rewards longevity, and her understanding of the event deepened with each season. By the late 1990s, she had entered her athletic prime. Her throws became more consistent, her competitive mindset more assured. In 1998, she reached a major milestone by winning the gold medal at the European Championships. This victory represented her first senior continental title and signaled her readiness to challenge for global honors. The following year would define her career in ways few could have predicted. At the 1999 World Championships in Seville, Franka Dietzsch arrived not as the overwhelming favorite, but as a serious contender. The competition was fierce, the conditions demanding. In the discus, margins are often narrow, and championships are decided by a single throw. Franka delivered when it mattered most. Her winning throw of 68.14 meters secured the gold medal and crowned her world champion for the first time. Earlier that same year, she had thrown a personal best of 69.51 meters, a mark that placed her among the elite in the history of the event. That distance reflected not only physical capability, but technical mastery, the product of years spent perfecting movement, timing, and release. Her world title in Seville validated that work and elevated her status within international athletics. In 2000, she represented Germany at the Olympic Games in Sydney. The Olympics carry a unique pressure, distinct from any other competition. Franka finished 6th, a strong result in a field of exceptional athletes. While an Olympic medal remained elusive, her performance demonstrated consistency and competitive resilience on the sport's biggest stage. The years that followed were challenging. The global field in women's discus was deep and competitive, and maintaining peak performance required constant adaptation. Franka Dietzsch remained committed to training and competition, even as results fluctuated. She did not step away. Instead, she persisted, refining her approach and maintaining her place among the world's best. Her perseverance was rewarded in 2005 at the World Championships in Helsinki. At an age when many athletes had already retired, Franka returned to the top of the podium, winning her second world title. Her winning throw measured 66.56 meters. While the distance was modest by historical standards, championships are not won by numbers alone. They are won by execution under pressure. Franka delivered when it counted, proving that experience and composure could outweigh raw distance. 2 years later, she achieved something even more remarkable. At the 2007 World Championships in Osaka, at the age of 39, she won her third World Championship title. Her opening throw of 66.61 meters was enough to secure victory, and no competitor surpassed it. This achievement placed her among a rare group of athletes who have won world titles across such a wide age span. It was a testament to her durability, discipline, and enduring competitive spirit. Training routines and daily life details have never been heavily publicized, but it is known that Franka balanced her athletic career with professional responsibilities outside of sport. She worked as a bank clerk in New Brandenburg, maintaining a life beyond the stadium even while competing at the highest level. This dual existence required organization, sacrifice, and focus, qualities that mirrored her approach to athletics itself. As she approached the end of her career, physical challenges became more pronounced. In 2008, she withdrew from the Olympic Games in Beijing, acknowledging that she was not in the condition required to compete at her expected standard. The decision was difficult but grounded in realism. It reflected her respect for the sport and for her own legacy. In 2009, she competed at the World Championships in Berlin. The event marked her final appearance on the world stage. She did not advance to the final, finishing 23rd in qualification. Later that year, Franka Dietzsch retired from professional athletics, bringing to a close a career that spanned more than 2 decades. Following her retirement, she stepped away from the public spotlight. Unlike some athletes who transition into coaching or media roles, Franka chose a more private path. Her contributions to athletics, however, remain firmly etched in the sport's history. 3-time world champion, European champion, Olympian, and one of Germany's most accomplished discus throwers, her record speaks with clarity and authority. Franka Dietzsch's story is not one of constant triumph. It is a story of persistence through change, of commitment without guarantees, and of excellence achieved through patience rather than haste. She competed in different political systems, different athletic eras, and against multiple generations of rivals.
Through it all, she remained present, competitive, and determined. Her legacy lives not only in medal counts, but in the example she set that greatness can be sustained, that peaks can come later, and that dedication over time can defy expectation. For those who step into the discus circle today, her journey stands as proof that success is not always immediate, but it is always earned. Thank you for watching this story on Behind the Medal. If Franka Dietzsch's journey inspired you, take a moment to like the video, share it with others who love the stories behind sport, and subscribe to the channel for more documentaries that go beyond the podium and into the lives of the athletes who earned their place in history. This video contains AI-generated images. They are used only for creative illustration and may not represent the athlete's exact appearance.